2 or 3.
When the cryptos creak and the tombstones quake,
Spooks come out for a swinging wake.
happy haunts materialize,
And begin to vocalize.
Grinning ghosts come out to socialize.
Hello, this is Doc Patazak once again for the final installment of the Haunted Mansion Show's special Halloween segment, Infamous Souls of the World. This week, gather round the cauldron and don't fall in, because we're gonna pay a visit to the coven of this week's Halloween icons, witches. Now, here's your host.
Your ghost host. Welcome back once again, my fiends, to the Haunted Mansion Show. We're having a very special edition of Infamous Souls of the World this week. What makes it so special, you may ask? Well, not only are we going to talk about witches, but we are also going to pay a call on 3 of our favorite witches. But I'll keep that a surprise until the time comes. With that said, let us commence. Our subject for tonight's episode has been known to have a knack for a special dark art, simply known as witchcraft. What exactly is witchcraft? The term of witchcraft itself has also been known synonymously as sorcery, black magic, wizardry, etc. This is usually associated with necromancy, casting ancient mystical spells to bring the dead back to life. They also use these eerie incantations to fly through the night when the moon is full. There are certain mortals nowadays who are referred to as crazy cat ladies. And because of how often they would own black cats and other creepy crawly animals, you can thank the witch for coining that term. As you can imagine, this form of magic was frowned upon from Europe, Africa, and Asia to both North and South Americas. Angry mobs would materialize all over to put an end to the cult of worshipping the demons of the underworld. The most infamous witch hunts took place in the relatively small area of Salem, Massachusetts. The Salem witch trials began in 1692 and lasted until 1693. That was an entire year's worth of countless men and women being accused of dark sorcery, pronounced guilty by the courts, and almost immediately executed afterwards. Rather chilling, isn't it? Because of this, witches are not found as frequently anymore. Or are they? Let us give many thanks to the fairy tales for reintroducing us to the sorcery of witches and warlocks once again. They are usually depicted as the villains of classic fantasy stories, such as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and Sleeping Beauty. Because of this, everyone knows that if there's one thing to be afraid of on Halloween, besides ghosts and vampires and werewolves, among other things, it's witches. Whether they be ugly or beautiful, tall or short, there's no denying that they have become one of the most infamous icons on All Hallows Eve. What is also interesting to note is that, surprisingly, witches can still be found to this very day. Oh, I don't mean those ugly old hags. No. I'm actually referring to Wiccans. Unlike the early age of witches, where they were solely known as devil worshippers, Wicca is a wizardry-based religion in which they respect a moon goddess and a horned god. It may not sound that different to you on hindsight, but you'll be surprised. You see, friends, Wiccans are heavily influenced by nature in their sorcery. Elements such as air, water, fire, and earth are primary elements to their methodology, and their rituals to worship and practice their magic take place during a full moon while sporting assorted trinkets such as knives, wands, chalices, a cauldron, and candles. Even though it's not necessarily the scariest thing in the world, it just goes to show you that magic still emanates throughout the air, thanks to Wiccans. As you can imagine, friends, we have a plethora of ghostly witches here at the mansion. They include, but are not limited to, a trio of witches that live in the backyard. Well, sort of. They're dead, but, well, anyway. Then there's a voodoo cult group located also in the graveyard. Their rituals are very nice to watch. You know, whenever the Phantom Five are not performing. And we have the most famous one of them all here, Madame Leota. Speaking of which, in just a few short hours, we'll be paying a visit to the seance room. Excuse me. Oh dear. I suppose it's that time already then. My watch must be broken. Well then, let us go to the seance room to invite the happy haunts for a swinging wake. The old-fashioned way. What was that next ingredient, madam?
It says in my spellbook that we need a feather of a raven. That should not be hard to find.
I couldn't agree more. Oh, Franklin, where are you?
Yes, sir.
Ah, there you are. I want you to go out and find Edgar. We need him for this crucial step of the spell.
Would you like me to chase him and catch him here, rather than simply bring him here?
Come to think of it, that does sound better. Yes, do that.
I shall.
Then I'll do it then. While we are waiting, mortal friends, let us go back to my office, where we will wait for our surprise guest callers. Ah, much better environment. We've sent them the number, and they should be calling any second now. Thank goodness we didn't need a spell for that one. Greetings, guests.
Hello, mortals. My name's Winifred. What's yours?
My name's Mary.
And I'm Sarah. Oh, I wasn't talking to you two.
I must say it's a pleasure to have you three on our show. You are my favorite witches, after all.
It's a pleasure for us to be
Yeah,
here.
it's really nice that you found some time for little old us.
Indeed. Now, let's discuss your past endeavors in life. How did witchcraft find you?
We were practically born witches, thanks to our dear mother.
Mother.
She was the one who introduced us to the dark arts and everything in between them.
Very smart. Always had a way with broomsticks. She did.
I see. Let's skip a few years and discuss about your lives during the Salem witch trials, shall we?
Well, that'd be impossible because we could only physically skip through the house and meadows and graveyards and stuff.
He didn't mean that, you great buffoon. I apologize for that.
Oh no, please, it's quite all right.
When we discovered that witchcraft was frowned upon, we went into hiding in the outskirts of Salem.
The cottage in the woods is the next best choice to lure children in and to suck the lives out of them. It was either that or the bear cave, which was my idea, but the bears were very unnice.
Why did you even think of that, Mary?
I don't know, that'd be creepy enough. I would listen to you, with you. Thank you, Sarah.
Shut up!
Is this a bad time?
No. We always bicker like this. These two foolish sisters are my curse.
You're lucky to have us, Winnie.
Really now? Am I?
Now that's enough! Please, excuse me, but we must move along.
Hold on. Before we do, I can tell there's some tension going on here, so we need to have a calming circle.
I am calm!
Oh, she's lying again, Mary. Calm down, Winnie. Now we're not being honest with ourselves.
I suppose you must go with this calming circle, Miss Sanderson.
Forget it. Moving on. It was the year 1693, the closing year of the treacherous trials for witches.
Oh, that was a very scary time. Scary.
We took this child away from her cozy little home to our own cottage.
And pray tell, whatever for?
To suck the lives out of all the children to live forever.
Really? You mean to tell me you already claimed the souls of all the children that same night? Quite impressive.
Please forgive Sister Sarah. What she really meant was that we would start with this particular girl.
Ah.
Tell them about the boy, Winnie. Yeah, and how we changed him into a...
I'm telling the story, sisters! So, anyway, her brother was this wretched boy named Thackeray Binks. He meddled with our affairs by spilling my potion.
Do you mean our potion?
Whatever.
We did successfully suck the life out of the weak girl and became young again. There was that. Then we changed the Binks boy into a cat.
Well, now you've gone and made the story anticlimactic. Thank you, Sarah.
Oh no, that's quite all right. Do move along.
The hunters then discovered us and hung us. It wasn't very nice. The ropes are very uncomfortable.
But, thanks to my spell book, we were able to resurrect back to the earth on All Hallows Eve, should a virgin ever light our black-flamed candle.
Made from the fat of a hangman. Oh, that was my idea.
Interesting. Did that work?
Yes, this other foolish boy, Max, lit 300 years after we were hanged.
The year 1993 was a very curious one indeed. The children I sniffed at all dressed funny. And the master gave us candy. Why would the master give us candy when he...
Oh, you don't remember a thing from that year, do you?
That may have been because after the children stole our book and messed up our plan, we turned to dust when the sun came up. Dust! Dust, 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 dust!
Please, don't remind me.
Oh, don't you worry, Sanderson sisters. Turning into dust at the worst possible moment happens to everyone. Trust me when I say that because of this villain hotline, you're not the only ones who have called this number and left their tragic endings.
We have been making quite a few friends here in the underworld. Shadow Man, Villainous Queens, fellow witches, and a bunch of other crazy people.
Ah, the other villains.
Fortunately, this is not where the story ends.
Is that so? Do tell.
We have harvested magic to return to the living world once again.
Again!
And we plan to host the most villainous Halloween parties ever.
That's splendid. However did you do it?
Hades has a way with schemes.
I had a feeling that would be the case.
He's very nice to get to know. He's very good, Master. Can we keep him, Winnie?
He's no entity to keep, you fool.
Yes, he can only keep himself. Keep himself from what?
That's not what I meant.
So, Sandersons, when can we expect you to return to the living world?
We've been invited to this All Hallows Eve event in this magic kingdom, wherever it is. It sounds painfully cheerful.
We three have been told by Hades that there's an abundance of children. And we terrorize and run amok.
Excellent. Luckily, the haunted mansion in which we spirits dwell is in the same location, so we just might provide you a supply or two for your villainous spell-tacular.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you. Thank you very much, poor boy.
I'm sure we'll make final arrangements to join you soon. Before we go, Mr.
You can call me Ghost Host. It's my own special nefarious namesake.
All right then, Mr. Ghost Host, here's my question. How do you last in a kingdom full of cheery happiness for so long?
Sometimes I ask myself the same question, Winifred. And do you know what?
Yes?
Some questions such as this one have no answer.
I was hoping there would be one.
Hark, sisters! The time has come for us to return to the living world.
Are you going to see us, Mr. Ghost House? Please.
Oh, I love to, my dears, but I'm afraid I have some conjuring to make myself. You see, the spirits of the house are getting incredibly anxious, and are just begging to materialize for a swinging wake.
Ooh, a swinging wake, eh?
Doesn't that sound like fun?
Indeed. So I must stay here to make sure that happens at 13 o'clock, and it appears that is the time.
Behold, sisters. The ancient one had added an hour of time.
Very interesting. We could have been informed of such news, however.
All this time, I thought there was only 12 hours.
Things are somewhat more complicated here.
Anyhow, we must go. Mortals are waiting for us, and we'll be ready for them.
Fare thee well, Sandersons. Have a wickedly wonderful All Hallows Eve.
Should we ever see each other, we must have a chat.
That can be arranged.
Really, then we must go now. We're already a minute late. Farewell, dead bone head. Now, Sarah, thou must not speak to your new friend in such a manner. I made a new friend? Is he a boy I can keep?
Shut up, you!
Oh, don't just stand there and bicker. Go on. Be on your way. They're waiting.
Of course. Fare thee well.
So long. Bye-bye. Bye.
Now, back to the seance room. Franklin should have been back by now. I wonder where he is.
There he is now.
Ah, there you are.
You got what you wanted, Master. It wasn't easy with Edgar's feisty attitude.
Edgar must know that desperate times call for desperate measures.
Thank you very much for your efforts, Franklin. You are dismissed.
Thank you, sir.
How delightfully morbid. The time has come. 'Tis time for the incantations. Madam, would you do the honors?
Gladly, Master. However, I will need some help from our mortal guests. If you all have the courage to raise the spirits from their resting places, say the spells with me. Serpents and spiders, tail of a rat, call in the spirits wherever they're at. Rap on a table, it's time to respond. Send us a message from somewhere beyond. Goblins and ghouls from last Halloween, awaken the spirits with your tambourine. Creepies and crawlies, toads in a pond, let there be music from regions beyond. Wizards and witches, wherever you dwell, give us a hint by ringing a bell! have done it without your help.
Much obliged. Now, dear friends, I must inform you all that after this episode, unfortunately the show is going to be on a brief hiatus until the month of December. But trust me, you'll get what's coming to you. In the meantime, I do thank you for your ghastly presence here at the Haunted Mansion Show's Infamous Souls of the World. I hope you have a happy Halloween. And beware of hitchhiking ghosts.
If you would like to join our jamboree, there's a simple rule that's compulsory. Mortals pay a token fee. Rest in peace, the haunting's free. So hurry back, we would like your company.
And that wraps it up for Infamous Souls of the World. This is Doug Paterzak wishing you a happy haunting Halloween from the Haunted Mansion. Have a safe time or you'll end up looking like me.